Western used to be about lands and legends, but Black Western are about survival, memory, and unfinished history.
Let's go, take on.
Now let it be known that I don't particularly enjoy violence. That being said,
this doesn't feel like a Western, and that's exactly why it works. Classic Western sells myth, but Black Western sells presence.
You shoot? He did.
But the biggest difference isn't the costumes, it's the editing.
Get a drink on the twins when you get there.
There's a pacing decision these films use that break every traditional Western rule.
Y'all enjoy the rest of the evening.
all night long.
This scene is the first violent act in Sinners, and the edit makes a radical choice. It doesn't center the impact.
Hey, little girl. Come here.
Instead, the cut arrives before the violence or after it has already happened. This is a classic example of negative space editing. The editor removes the moment the audience expects to see. Instead, we are given sound without image, image without action, and reaction without release.
I'm trying to help you. Fuck you going, nigga. Bet this bull to beat you there.
The pacing is restrained, there is no escalation through fast cuts, and the editor refuses to accelerate. From an editor's standpoint, this is intentional deprivation. The timeline is shaped to deny gratification.
Whoa. Smoke. Terry? Boy, how you been?
I was doing better before you shot me in the ass.
Why the hell you trying to boost my truck?
It's your truck.
In traditional Western, violence is processed. We see the draw, the shots, and the fall. The edit usually celebrates clarity and dominance.
How you know it was your truck? I swear, Smoke.
Bullshit! I told you it was his.
Wait, Smoke. I thought she was lying. Y'all was supposed to be in Chicago working for Capone.
Yeah, we back now.
Sinners rejects this completely. There's no choreographed showdown, no editorial build-up, and no release. The editor refuses to frame violence as power.
Damn, what you do that for?
Can't have some nigga talking about how he almost robbed the twins. Not without a limp, show for it.
Well, who gonna patch me up?
This edit reframes violence as burden. By cutting away from impact, the film aligns with a tradition where suffering is not spectacle, but inheritance. And the audience are not invited to enjoy violence, they are forced to carry it.
I ain't got no money. What if I get sepsis or some shit now?
Y'all scoot on out the street, put some pressure on him.
Get up, boy. Nigga, I need help. Get up, fool.
Sinners doesn't edit to entertain, it edits to remember. By slowing time, denying spectacle, and interrupting closure, the film turns the Western inwards. The myth dissolves, and what remains is the consequence.
I just shot a couple niggas outside. They gonna live. They gonna need some patching up.
Yeah, we can take care of that. Anything else?
Black Western films isn't just a variation of classical Western style, it's a response. Classical Western style uses editing to create moral clarity, clean violence, and heroic inevitability. And Black Western films uses editing to create cultural rhythm, inherited trauma, and collective survival.
We gonna have us a battle of the blues. It's gonna be a real ring-a-dang-dang just for us.
That's why Black Western films relies heavily on rhythmic and music-driven cuts, interruption over continuity, silence as emotional weight, elliptical time and memory gap, and cutting after violence, not during. Silence is one way to claim space, and noise is another. Where Sinners withholds, our next editing autopsy clips announces, and in that announcement, the edit becomes a declaration. Now let's run an editing autopsy on this clip from The Harder They Fall. This opening train station shootout tells us everything we need to know about how this film will be edited. Notice the cut's timing. Cuts don't land when a character finishes an action. They land when the music tells them to. Gunshot syncs with drum hits, and the movement is shaped by rhythm, not logic. If you slow this scene down, you notice something unusual. The editor isn't trying to make the space readable.
What the hell are you doing out here? There ain't no way to board a train, you damn stupid bitch!
We are not carefully oriented to who is where. We are only oriented to momentum.
Don't do no stupid shit. All right?
Get off this train now, you motherless scum.
You must be the hero.
The question guiding this cut isn't do we understand the space, but do we feel the beats? And because of that, the violence becomes like a percussion.
See my point? Now, step aside.
Each cut hits the body before it hits the brain. Classic Western shootouts prioritize clarity. They establish geography, respect eye lines, and carefully tracks who fires first, who reacts, and then who falls. But this scene rejects all of that.
Put the weapon down, boy. Or we kill everybody on this train. I said put the gun down.
The editor refuses the Western tradition of violence as ceremony. Instead of a clean cause and effect editing, we get physical overload. And the edit doesn't reassure us, it overwhelms us. This editing style is rooted in black musical culture. Hip-hop doesn't ask permission to start. It drops you into rhythm.
You got 10 seconds to put your guns down and open up this damn door, or your little kin here shall perish.
Harm him further, and I will kill every last one of you godless sons of bitches.
By cutting on beats instead of logic, the edit asserts cultural ownership. And the violence isn't glorified, it's stylized as resistance.
Oh, all right. Thank you kindly. Go ahead and walk, boy. Keep walking, just keep moving. No one do.
The edit refuses to slow down to explain itself because historically, explanation has never been guaranteed.
Open it.
I can't. The key is back in Yuma. And the next
One more time.
The harder they fall proves one thing. When you change the edit, you don't just change pacing, you change history's rhythm. And rhythm decides who gets remembered. Both films uses different editing language by the same movement. Cines cuts on breath, embraces silence, and uses restraint as truth. And The Harder They Fall cuts on beats, embraces spectacle, and uses style as reclamation. One edits towards power and the other edits towards cost, but both reject the old myth.
Don't move.
Here are your Ripple Edit lab notes. 5 black Western editing techniques you can use right now. 1. Cut on rhythm or breath, not just action. 2. Let silence carry cultural weight. 3. Prioritize reaction over spectacle. 4. Use interruption instead of resolution. And 5. Never let violence feel clean. And if you want any editing autopsy on your favorite film, TV moment or creator, drop it below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, keep your timelines healthy. Thank you.